Hey soldiers, have you noticed that since 2020, a lot of local elected officials are out there acting like dictators? We've got the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, who also happens to be the city supervisor of Dolton, Illinois. She is misappropriating taxpayer dollars, allegedly. Listen, you gotta pay those property taxes, right? Because if you don't, they come and they put a lien on your house, maybe take it away from you, sell it at tax sale, right? So you have no choice. You have to pay your ad valorem property taxes. Now, the citizens of Dolton, average income is $24,000. Tiffany Henyard makes almost, well, she does make 10 times that. She makes almost $300,000. Now, you would think that someone making that kind of money, $300,000, you would think, to be the mayor of a small town, mind you, this woman is not, being asked to, remove appendixes or doing anything like laying tar on hot roofs. Okay, so you would think that she would say, "Wow, I got a hell of a responsibility here. I'm making all this money, and the average income here in my town is 24 grand. I need to get on the phone, and I need to burn up these phone lines and start bringing opportunity to this city. These people have trusted me. Let me reward them with showing them that their trust has not been taken for granted." But no. Instead, this woman, who we will call Bone Quisha going forward. Why are we calling her Bone Quisha? Well, every good dictator has to have a nickname, right? Mussolini, they called him El Duce, the leader. So we're going to call Tiffany Henyard Bone Quisha because she's acting like she's in a rap video, okay, or on the set of Housewives of Walbrook Junction or some other ghetto area. This is what she's acting like. We're going to call it the way we see it because the citizens who do bear responsibility for this disaster, we will get to them in a minute. The citizens of Dolton are getting one hell of a wake-up call about how their money is being spent, the little bit of it that they're making. Now, they did try to recall her, but she's sly. Bone Quisha's sly like a fox, and she took him to court. Now, I want to say this. She hasn't been charged with any crimes that I know of as of the 13th of November at 5:12 p.m. So, everything that is, looking like there's smoke, it's all alleged until it can be proven, okay? However, she, has a lot of smoke around her, and where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, how does a person like this get into office, okay? Let's take a look at the voter first, and then we'll take a look at the antics of Bone Quisha. Sounds like a good book. Anyway, why would someone vote for her?
You got a 37-year-old woman. She made history. Black woman, single mother. That kind of resonates with me, right? So I really thought it was going to be better. I'm like, wow, because, you coming off the year, the woman. I mean, how can you not vote for her? We just put Kamala Harris in office, right? Yes.
Okay, so you see, she got into office because she has a vagina and she's black. At least that is the explanation given from the woman you just saw as to why she voted for her. It's the year of the woman, after all. Or it was the year of the woman, I guess, when she voted for her, right? I think on the Chinese calendar, it's the year of the monkey, okay? Are you going to put Chim Chim in office because it's the year of the monkey? I don't think so. So this is the lack of critical thinking and lack of judgment that is being displayed and demonstrated by all too many voters. You guys tried to pull her out of there shortly after she took office, and she's fighting you all the way, and that's what you get. Because she obviously did not have to come to the table with anything other than, I'm a black woman, and you voted for her. And now you're literally paying for it, okay, with your tax dollars. All right, so that's kind of the prevailing viewpoint. The city is 53% female, 91% black, okay? And let's not joke around like identity politics isn't a thing, okay? This is the reason why a lot of what's happening in our country is happening. Now, you can castigate me all you want, but this is an instance where a black elected official, just like we're seeing in Chicago, a black elected official is abusing the economy of a black city. Okay? So I don't know how you get white racism out of that. I'm sure someone will contort themselves into a pretzel to make it happen, but I don't see it. I see black people who are being abused economically, socially, politically by someone who is displaying the behavior of a juvenile. Okay? So, Tiffany, I'm sorry, I was about to call her Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Bone Quisha, this is what she's up there doing.
In South Suburban Dolton, the economic challenges run deep.
We still have areas that need trees cut, streets paved, alleys paved, sidewalks fixed. It's a lot of that going on.
And a lot that's being spent, not on critical repairs, but on travel, meals, and more by many top village officials.
It's an issue. It's been an issue for some time.
We just look up and we're paying for stuff. And it just makes no sense. She's just doing what she wants to do.
None of them do the things that we do here. We the only ones making sure y'all streets get paid, find ways to fix what is broken.
She is Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
But then they running y'all, tell y'all this little fictitious story.
Would you like to just do an interview with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, let's go. I mean,
In addition to leading Dolton, she also serves as supervisor of Thornton Township.
You make almost $300,000 between your two elected positions.
I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
These are tax dollars.
So is the money being spent on village credit cards. WGN Investigates obtained copies of statements that reveal village officials have spent more than $24,000 at restaurants in just 1 year, including this Midlothian barbecue joint and a South Holland sub shop.
I've seen the same thing and more. You name it, they've done it.
Other questionable expenses include the streaming service Hulu, flights to Texas, Alabama, and Missouri, and hotel rooms in nearby suburbs, including Madison and Elk Grove Village, plus thousands of dollars spent at a hotel in downstate Pontiac.
My take is this: if they are going to something that's going to benefit the village, that's fine. But from my standpoint of view, these things don't benefit the village at all.
And then there are the trips to Las Vegas. Mayor Henyard and other top officials traveled to Sin City in May to attend a shopping center conference. It's unclear if it helped Dolton land any deals.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Actually, yes. The credit card records do shed some light on tax dollars spent at several restaurants near the Strip, including Cafe Hollywood and Hot and Juicy Crawfish.
All right. Any other questions?
So you're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded. So any other questions you may have?
Hey, elections have consequences, right? You know, she's not the only one doing something like this, though. We've got the mayor of Baltimore City, who has this little program called Safe Streets. Now, if you're thinking, oh, Safe Streets, that sounds good. Yeah, it's a program put together to try to quell violence in Baltimore City. As far as the results, who knows whether it's working or not. And the reason why I say that is because the mayor will not allow this taxpayer-funded entity to be audited. He's fighting that all the way. Now, something happened here in Baltimore. The FBI raided Safe Streets here recently. I can't be sure, this is just pure speculation, but I think Mayor Bone Quisha probably has an FBI visit somewhere in her future. We shall see. But here in Baltimore, the FBI raided the Safe Streets, one of the Safe Streets offices, and several offices and homes of folk associated with Safe Streets. Now, if you were thinking, look, I'm all for peace, I think I could work with Safe Streets and make a difference and help the people. One of the requirements to work for Safe Streets is that you have a criminal record, okay? Because ostensibly they do a lot of intervention with folk who may be predilected toward violent crime. Now look, maybe Safe Streets is the answer. The murder rate in Baltimore is down this year, that's a fact. So maybe they have a lot to do with it. No one knows because the mayor won't allow an audit. Okay, he's turning his nose up at any scrutiny of, again, this taxpayer-funded program. And when you've got politicians like Mayor Brandon Scott, or Mayor BS as I like to refer to him, and Bone Quisha out in Dolton, and look, they're not unique, unfortunately. There are many that the county executive here in Baltimore County just rammed through a plastic bag fee that the citizens were against. So to hell with the citizens and what they think. This is what I'm going to do. We saw on the video we did earlier in the week the mayor of Chicago and how he's completely ignoring his citizens. Meanwhile, they are putting more and more tax money, okay, into a system that is economically ignoring them more and more each day. So if you live in one of these places where you've got a little, it looks less like a county or a city in America and more like some feudal setup where the county executive or the mayor, they're, the sheriff of Nottingham, and you are merely a serf. You're like Braveheart, right? Braveheart wanted to stay out of things for the most part until they screwed him over. And you're like, freedom! I need my money freed. Either you guys are going to stop raising taxes, you're going to give me a break on taxes, or you're going to be accountable for the tax money that I pay. Now listen, here's the reason why we see this happening. Because again, and I'm never going to stop harping on this, because politics and your money cannot be separated. You're seeing this because all too often certain demographics vote for certain political parties slavishly. And if you act like a slave, economically or otherwise, then you shall be treated as one. So screw your labor and what it took for you to make the money to pay your taxes, income taxes, ad valorem property taxes, gas tax, rain tax, whatever tax, sales tax. So what? Your labor was expended to generate money that you were then obligated to pay taxes on. Okay? Your labor. What did the slave go through economically? Now, we know the horrors of slavery. They've been well documented. But from an economic standpoint, you had that slave's labor stolen from them. They were made to work and weren't allowed to see any of the financial bounty from that labor. So, if you're going to pay taxes, wouldn't you expect to receive something in return, lest you become an economic slave? Guys, I'll talk to you soon.